Madeira Island is absolute paradise. It's completely full of beautiful nature and landscapes. So in this video, I'm going to show you my top 5 viewpoints. Let's take a look. Number 1 on the list is going to be Véu da Noiva Viewpoint. This means the wife's veil. This is a magnificent viewpoint located on the northwestern coast of the island. It overlooks the sea and this beautiful cliff that has a really nice waterfall. The landscape itself is amazing because in front of you, looking at the sea, you've got obviously this just immensity of water, which is always beautiful. Very nice rock formations, a lot of plants along the coast, and to enhance the experience, Madeira is a place full of mountains. So in the background, you've got some beautiful green mountains. Oftentimes there's a lot of fog and mist around the mountains, which even enhances the atmosphere and it just makes it all very mystical. It's completely gorgeous. So I hope you're enjoying these shots that I'm showing you. Let's take a look at this quick B-roll edit. Another very cool thing about the Véu da Noiva Viewpoint is that it has this little shop right overlooking the viewpoint, where you can buy a bunch of different souvenirs and stuff. Some are a bit more industrial than others, but you do have some handmade stuff, and you've got, for example, some traditional Madeira hats. But very, very cool is that you have a small cafe and they will serve you one of Madeira's most typical drinks, which is called the poncha. Its foundation is firewater, and then you've got a bunch of different variants, which can have either sugar or honey, and then you can have a bunch of different fruits. You can have pineapple, orange, tangerine, lemon, and basically they're all amazing. This particular one had sugar and clementine, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a great way to start off our trip because this was the first point that we visited. Right, number 2 on the list is probably my favorite of them all. This list is in no particular order. I'm talking about Pico do Arieiro. It's the 3rd largest peak on the island. Its height is of 1,818 meters. This is above the clouds. So what you want to do to visit Pico do Arieiro is actually be mindful of weather conditions, because if it is misty, you are not going to see a thing. So you have to have clear skies. Clouds are not a problem, mist is. Pico do Arieiro is very famous for its absolutely stunning sunrises. We got up at around 6:40, being that sunrise was at 7:40. We had never been to this location, so we did run into a little bit of trouble. First of all, there was a little bit of traffic going up the hill all the way to the peak, so that slowed us down a little bit. And then where you actually park the car and the top of the peak, you still have to climb up a bit of a distance, which is around 800 to 1,000 meters, so approximately 1 kilometer. That does take some time, especially because it is a bit of a steep incline, so I would say you need to allocate between 15 and 20 minutes for this climb. So we did not get there with enough time to actually climb and watch the sunrise. So we had to go to another point because thankfully there are several different peaks around there. So we had to go to one that was slightly further down. It wasn't actually the Pico do Arieiro, but it was close enough so that we were actually able to witness the gorgeous sunrise. As you can see, we are completely surrounded by mountains, and the peaks of these mountains are above the clouds, which is what gives this specific place such a unique and incredible atmosphere, because I mean, you're above the clouds. What the hell? So that was a really, really cool experience. A few tips if you visit Pico do Arieiro. Number 1, be weather ready. We went in the summer and we were having temperatures of around 30 degrees Celsius every day, which is amazing. I didn't take a coat, and I can tell you at 1,800 meters of altitude, it gets pretty cold. And not only was it cold, it was also windy. So I was the only idiot in a t-shirt there, and I can tell you it wasn't the best. Here we are, Pico do Arieiro. We are at approximately 1,800 meters high. Look at that. There are a lot of people here. Look at this car park, absolutely packed. No good. Let's see if we can get a good point to have a look at the sunrise. One small, huge detail is that the temperature here is very, very low compared to what it was down where we were. Now it's around 12 degrees Celsius, and I do not have a jacket, which is not great. I got through it, obviously, but still, I would have been much happier if I had taken a jacket or a jumper or something like that. Tip number 2, I would say arrive at the parking spot around 40 minutes before sunrise. This way, not only can you climb at your own pace to the actual peak, Pico do Arieiro, as you can also secure a great spot to take all of your pictures and just witness the beautiful sunrise. Third tip, if you really want to enjoy the whole atmosphere of the place, and if you really want to experience this unique location, you can actually take a picnic and stay there for your first hours of the day and just have your breakfast there. That's going to be a great way to start your morning and just enjoy this magnificent landmark, which is Pico do Arieiro. Right, let's move on to number 3. Ponta de São Lourenço. This specific viewpoint is on the far southeastern point of the island. It's the most extreme point to the east of the island. It's built by this rock formation that goes out into sea, so if you look at the map on Google Maps, you can actually see this little tip going out of the island. You can get there by car, which is very, very convenient because Madeira has a few less accessible places. But this specific one is very accessible and it's magnificent. It would be better for you to see the sunrise at this location, but we actually visited at sunset. The views were still magnificent. It's a lovely place, as you can see from this footage, but to experience it in all its glory, sunrise would have been better. Now, the issue is Madeira has so many nice places to watch the sunrise, you need to pick and choose. This specific location has a 360 view, essentially, of the sea, of a bunch of different mountains, and these mountains aren't as green as some previous mountains that I've showed you. They're more earthy, full of rocks and desert. It's a more desert-looking vibe. Absolutely gorgeous nonetheless. Here we are at Ponta de São Lourenço. This is a very cool spot to watch the sunset, I believe, but the sun is hidden from the clouds, so we are not seeing any sunset.
It's a sunrise, motherfucker.
Sunrise? Okay, this is a very good spot for the sunrise. We are at sunset time, but there is no sunset to see. It's hidden behind the clouds over there and behind Simão, because everything shines on him. So we just came to see the vibes. Really cool place. And apparently there's a nice little trail over there where you can go and explore a bunch of different beaches, which we might do in the future. Moving on to number 4, Levada do Caldeirão Verde. You have a bunch of these around Madeira and they're really, really nice courses. Some of them are going to be harder than others. That depends on not only the duration, but also the incline. This one, thankfully, has only a variation of around 200 meters, so most of it is flat, which is amazing if you don't like climbs. I don't mind climbs, but this one was in a bit of a heat wave. We've started the trail. This is called Levada do Caldeirão Verde, and it is around 5 to 6 hours, we expect 6.5 kilometers. Thankfully, most of it is flat, so we don't have a lot of incline, and it is in the shade. We're in this beautiful forest. One very good thing about this location is that all of the trail practically is done in the shade. So even though it's hot in Madeira, usually you'll be able to withstand the whole of the trail much better due to being in the shade. A waterfall isn't necessarily a viewpoint, but I wanted to include this in this video because along the trail you are going essentially around a valley of a mountain, and this valley is one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen. It literally looked like Jurassic Park. We felt like a dinosaur was going to appear out of anywhere because it just gave you that vibe. It's just very densely forested, and then you have all of the clouds and the mist. It's just this really mystical atmosphere. It was magnificent. So doing all of the trail was an incredible experience. At the end of the trail, you do have the waterfall, which is also super cool. After around 2 hours walking, here we are. Caldeirão Verde, guys. We've got this huge waterfall which falls down into that nice little lake. Let's go and explore. But the viewpoint essentially is throughout the course towards this waterfall, which is the Caldeirão Verde waterfall, the green cauldron, because that's essentially the vibe that you get from the color of the water and the plants around it. Really, really cool. If you're going to do this trail, I highly recommend very, very comfortable footwear. Sneakers or hiking boots are going to be your best options. Then do take some food, because this can take around 4 to 5 hours depending on your pace. After finishing the trek, when you arrive at the waterfall, you might want to sit down and just have a nice picnic and enjoy the amazing views, maybe go for a swim. We actually took a dip and boy, it was cold, but it was so cool. If you know my channel, you know I love ice baths, so this was essentially a natural ice bath. I think the water was around maybe 2 or 3 degrees. It was freezing, but it felt absolutely amazing. Another tip is obviously take water, a lot of water, because you're going to need it. You do not want to get dehydrated in these remote places where getting help is going to be very, very hard. You just want to fuel well throughout the day and enjoy your trip, so don't forget some water. Tip number 4, throughout the trail, you've got 3 or 4 caves which you're going to go through, as you can see here. These caves do not have any light at all, and some of them are quite long. So usually you'll have a torch in your cell phone. If you do, that's perfect, but if you don't, be mindful and take a torch with you. Also make sure that your cell phone has charge, because that will enable you to use the torch. And obviously get some nice shots of the amazing views that you're going to see. On to our final item on the list, item number 5, Mirador do Guindaste. This is a man-made lookout point, and it's also on the northeastern side of the island, but it's basically almost in the middle of the island on the north coast. Now we're here at one of the most famous viewpoints to see the sunset, which we're not going to see because it's quite cloudy, so we just came to check the spot out. This is called Mirador do Guindaste. Let's take a quick look. It looks like a construction site with some glass panels going out onto the water, and it's absolutely stunning. Just like all of Madeira, you're going to be surrounded by some nice mountains and the beautiful ocean. At this specific point, at least when we went, the sea was probably the roughest that we had seen, so you did not want to fall down because it looked pretty rough. But still, the scenery was absolutely amazing. The water was this deep blue, as you can see, and then you could see the waves almost in slow-mo because you were so high up, so it was just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, here we are on top of the viewpoint. It's really, really cool because it's got a glass floor and you can see the ocean below you. Look at the waves. The sea is actually pretty rough today, so if you're scared of the sea, this might not be the viewpoint for you, but it's super, super cool. It can get pretty busy and we're not even at sunset time, so be wary of that. We just had to wait about 10 minutes to be able to get here and take a picture. At sunset time or sunrise, it's going to be even worse, but super cool spot. Look at the other one behind. You've got these 2 viewpoints overlooking the sea. So cool. If you go slightly to the right, you've got a nice little hill which you can go up and have a different perspective of all of this beauty. So I do recommend you see the man-made viewpoint, the Mirador do Guindaste, but also go to the hill to the right of it if you're looking at the sea and climb up, because we were able to get these views. Take a look. So other than those 2 viewpoints overlooking the sea, you've also got right beside it this nice little cliff that overlooks the Guindaste beach down there and the sea over here. Let's climb up this little mountain to get a better vantage point. Very good thing about this viewpoint is that it's also very, very accessible by car. You can literally park where the viewpoint is, go ahead and take advantage of that and enjoy this amazing viewpoint. Also, very important, very close to this point, we found an amazing restaurant. Look at that. I'm going to leave the link for the restaurant in the description of this video, but I'm going to do a full video with my favorite spots to eat in Madeira, so make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and stay tuned to see all the amazing content that's still on the way about this fantastic island. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Madeira was such an incredible vibe. I can't wait to go back. I really hope you enjoyed the video as well. Please give the video a thumbs up. I will see you in the next one.